Hello again, welcome to another exciting episode. Today, we have a really big show planned, and we are going to have a lot of fun. Back in 2008, a miracle was born when Kevin Feige teamed up with the great one, Joss Whedon, to create a universe of epic proportions. Today, we ask you to grab your cape and cowl as we become Legend of the Nerds. All right, so for many years, Marvel's been kicking the doors down, paving the road for all superhero movies, Andy. From the small screen up to the big screen. Today, we're going to take a deeper look into the other side of the companies. I'm talking about DC today. They have Phase 1 movies coming out. We already saw
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, right?
Yep.
So before we get into that, though, as we know, Thanksgiving just came up and passed us. The nerd offices were closed down. It's been a while since I've seen you, pal. How you been?
Feeling very sick a little bit.
Yeah?
So much turkey and everything, all the good fillings and everything.
Yeah.
Feeling great a little bit. So
Did you have a good turkey day, though?
it was very relaxing.
A lot of family?
Nope. I actually had to work the weekend of Thanksgiving, so
Oh, yeah?
the family all kind of left, and I just hung back with some family friends that invited me over for their turkey day. So.
Okay.
But relaxing. Had some turkey, watched some football, then took a long nap.
Did the Lions lose again?
No, they won.
They won this time.
Unfortunately,
Wow.
my Packers lost. Unfortunately,
Oh, that's
so.
too bad.
But yeah, so like I said, after that, took a nice coma nap.
Cool, man. That's what turkey does. When you eat too much turkey, what happens? You just get tired and you just start sleeping. You mix that with a little alcohol like I did, and I was ready for bed at 3
you go.
p.m.
There you go.
Crazy. I just stayed at home, though. Folks came up. It was a good day for us.
Yep.
But that all said and done, we have a huge show, like I mentioned. But first, I just want to get your thoughts and your opinions on back in, 2003 when Iron Man first came out. Did you expect that movie to blow up to such a huge universe that it is now?
I didn't.
Or did you think it would just be a movie that stands alone?
I didn't think it was either going to blow up or stand alone. So I'm kind of in the middle. I thought, okay, Iron Man comes out, cool, and then maybe we'll get a sequel here or there, here and there.
For real.
Really didn't think all of a sudden we're going to get Captain America, Thor, Hulk, then the Avengers and everything. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, we can just throw that prop down. They're all falling on us again here. Yeah, so I thought we might just have the sequel.
Uh-huh.
But definitely did not think it was going to blow up into the mega billions, not even mega millions, but mega billions.
Blockbuster hits that they are, right?
That we have today.
Well, today we're going to discuss how DC plans on kind of duplicating that formula.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, we start off with Man of Steel. Came out back in 2013. When you saw that movie, I'm assuming you did see that movie.
Yep.
Probably when it first came out, like I did.
Yep. Drive-in.
What'd you think? Did you like it? Yay, nay?
You can vouch for me on this. When we heard that Man of Steel was coming out,
Mhm.
I was so hyped for this movie. Not a huge Superman fan. Not as big as probably Batman and all the others.
Of course.
But when I heard that this was going to star one of my favorite actors, Kevin Costner, as what's Clark's dad's name? Jonathan Kent.
Yep.
I thought, wow, we got a big name like Costner. Not even playing a big role, but a smaller role. And even in the movie, I mean, he dies 10 minutes into the movie. I thought, geez, I could have stretched that out at least some.
Crowe in the movie, too.
Yeah, but whoop-de-doo. He was in there for less. He dies in the first
He had a
5
huge
seconds.
action piece, though.
So I was really excited, waiting for this movie. The trailer for me was an amazing trailer. And when the movie starts, spoiler if you haven't seen it.
If you haven't seen it, you probably should be watching this show. You're probably not a fan.
Exactly. I got excited, and I think you probably got excited in the beginning, when it starts off the right way, where it kind of shows the backstory of Krypton before
Yes.
it blows up.
Yep. The myth of Krypton blowing up.
Exactly. Then throughout the movie, it just kind of started to. It seemed like they stretched it out way too far for me. It was like a 2.5-hour movie. And our biggest pet peeve is Clark showing himself to Lois before you get the whole real story of Superman hiding his identity from
You
Lois.
said that's too soon.
Way too soon.
Yeah.
That's the whole best part of
Yeah.
Superman is him becoming Clark Kent and hiding the Superman persona from her. But instead, she finds out Superman is Clark Kent right in the beginning.
It was a little too soon, I thought. Definitely. My biggest beef with this movie, and a lot of people probably agree with me, was the fact that Superman took a life in this movie. You know, he killed Zod. But after thinking about it, after listening to a bunch of interviews and podcasts, anything wrapped around this movie, because I do all my research like that, I got to realize that, well, you understand that this is Superman's first time fighting a villain with his freshly known powers.
Yeah.
You know, so he didn't really know how to handle it. So I guess Zack Snyder, the director, wanted to take a route of explaining a story outside the universe that we know now to kind of create his own universe. And after I kind of realized, like, yeah, I guess that's how they're going to really start the DC Phase 1 movies.
My thought process on that is, if you look at a lot of superheroes, they don't take lives. That's the thing. You're a superhero, you don't take a life. But you got to realize there's certain points where they actually don't try to take a life, but it's going to happen. So yes, we all say, well, he doesn't kill, but there are certain times, even in animations I've noticed, you see where one of them was Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, for instance, where they introduced Supergirl. When Darkseid kidnaps her, abducts her, he even tells Darkseid at the end, if you ever come after my family again, I will kill you.
Yeah.
So there are parts where, yeah,
You don't think that was an empty threat, though?
it's
That
hard to
scare off a bad guy like
It's
that?
hard to say because it's the same thing with Batman and stuff like that too. You don't think he wants to kill somebody, but he tries not to, but it could happen.
Well, if you want to talk about animated stories like that, if you look at Under the Red Hood, where Jason Todd dies by the Joker's hand, comes back as, you know, the man in the red hood, you know? So at the end of the movie, you have Jason Todd with a gun pointing at Joker's head, telling Batman, if you don't take him out, I will. And Batman's like, I don't kill, and just walks away.
Well, it's the same thing in the Dark Knight trilogies. In the second one, The Dark Knight, I mean, you know he wants to drop Joker from the balcony, basically, where he's hanging him upside down,
Right.
but he doesn't. But what I'm getting at is sometimes it does happen. So you can't just always say, well, the movie is going to be horrible because the superhero killed somebody. It does happen. It makes it pulls out more of the drama in the movie, though.
Of course. Yeah. Superman, though, I mean, if you really find Pickett with a toothbrush, you know, it's a crap movie. I personally, I didn't really like it too much. But if you actually look at what they're trying to create, it was a pretty decent movie. I liked all the flashbacks, so you got a good view of Clark's past.
Kind of the growing up in Smallville.
As to how he formed into Superman and how he learned to deal with these newly formed powers. You know, so I mean, the storyline was kind of good, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I'll accept it. But I didn't think it was going to blow up to a universe as it did.
No, I mean, I was hoping when it first came out, okay, we have this, then we're going to have maybe a Justice League movie, which there was talk about that prior to Man of Steel.
Yeah, it was.
So, like you've said, there were parts you'd like, parts you didn't like of it. Same here. I love the beginning with the Krypton thing. Hate the fact that they kill off Jonathan Kent. Way too early, I think. And my biggest, it's towards the end, it kind of started, like I said, dragging out where it kind of got a little boring.
Yeah, it did. But, I mean, that was the movie, though. So, we're going to keep going on. Up next in the series of the universe, we got to handle this in a proactive way because the movies are not coming out yet. All we've really seen is 2 trailers of this next upcoming movie right now. And I'm talking about Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Which, of course, if any of you out there remember, way back in Nerdland or Nerd History here, that I think was episode 3 or so for us, where we talked about that trailer.
Did that trailer and did Star Wars trailer.
Exactly. So if you want, go back on our YouTube page and watch that episode, then this episode.
Yes, that's a good point. All right, so what are your thoughts, opinions, and beefs so far with the trailers that we've seen?
My beef was in the trailer. I thought was horrible. The first one when it first came out.
Okay.
Because I don't really understand what they were trying to go for. You really only see Superman around with all those people. Kind of reminded me of like Jokers from Batman Beyond.
Good point.
And it's like, I don't know if they want to kill him or if he's a god to them. And then you have Batman kind of showing the suit with the scars on it, the beaten scars.
Yep.
That's really much about it. Him and Superman, a little fight, that was it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking when I hear the title, Dawn of Justice, you think they're going to form the Justice League. So
That's the first thought that came to your head.
that's the first thought that came to my head, yes.
Okay.
I understand it says Batman versus Superman, and people think, okay, they're going to go after each other in the movie, which they probably are. They're going to
Now,
fight
have
each
you
other.
read any comics when Batman vs Superman?
No.
You haven't? Okay.
But, so my thought is, well, in all the movies, animation movies we've seen, you got Batman and Superman always arguing. They're two leaders. It's just like in the Marvel Universe with Iron Man and Captain America. You got
Very
two guys that are bullheaded.
It's a good similarity.
So, I'm excited for the movie because I kind of get really excited over the DC Marvel, not trilogies, but the phases, the universes.
Yes.
It's just one of those things where, cool. I'm not one of these people where I can choose probably between Marvel and DC. It's more towards Marvel because I think we've seen more.
Well, it's amazing that you brought that up. What's the release date on Batman Superman? It's in
It's
it's in May, right?
somewhere around there. I think it's like end of spring.
I think
beginning
it's
of summer.
1 month before Captain America 3 comes out. So I think it's probably in April, summer. I think Captain America comes out.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's like somewhere around there, the end of spring, beginning of summer, somewhere around there.
I mean, you got to make a choice. I mean, do you want your DC movie? Or do you want your Marvel movie more?
Oh, I already
'Cause
know.
You're looking at Batman versus the Supes. Then you're looking at Team Captain America versus Team Iron Man.
I already know which one I'm most excited for.
Okay.
Which, if you all go, again, I'm going to promote us big time here. If you all go to our Facebook page and vote on our Nerdies that we'll be having in a couple weeks, our awards, both movies are on the most anticipated movie of the year, Captain America Civil War and Dawn of Justice.
Okay.
I have voted for Captain America Civil War because out of every superhero, DC or Marvel, Captain America is my all-time favorite.
There you go.
So that's my answer.
What I expect from Batman Superman is I don't think they're actually going to have a huge brawl or fight at all. I think you may see maybe like a 8 to 12 minute scene of those two battling it out just until, Batman tells Superman why he's actually there.
Yeah, well, because I know they have Jesse Eisenberg playing Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, if you have Lex in that movie, he's probably going to be the main villain.
Right. But let me finish this thought, though. Let me finish this thought first, out of my head. So you're going to have Batman versus Superman. They're going to probably battle it out a little bit, which is fine. We all want to see that. But we got to understand that this is Superman's first almost time dealing with other superhumans, where this is Batman's. He's been doing it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He's older Bruce Wayne in this movie.
Okay.
So Bruce is more level-headed and he knows about this stuff. So I'm assuming that Batman already knows about Wonder Woman, probably knows about all the other members of Justice League. He just doesn't care. So
True.
now he's probably going to Metropolis to deal with the problem.
He is the one Justice League member that really isn't super. So.
Yeah, but he is a leader.
Like he's got all those contingency plans just in case something happens.
Yes, same with Animation Doom. Then Superman asks, well, what's the plan about you? Why do you think I created the Justice League? See, that's Batman, that's Batman. Let's talk about the actors quickly. So I know we didn't really touch too much. We've seen more trailers now. What's your new thoughts about Ben Affleck?
I have been, since they have announced last year that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman, I have been on the Ben Affleck bandwagon.
So you're Batfleck all the way?
Oh,
Haven't changed yet?
Affleck all the way because I'm excited because this is like his big role coming back to acting. Because he's been on the he probably does some of these movies. He did like Gone Girl and stuff like that.
Right.
But he's been trying to do most of the directing and screenwriting. This to me is his big return. Because I thought he played an amazing Daredevil.
I liked it in Daredevil, yeah.
And I mean, he's done those other roles. I just feel like he's got the look, and he can present himself in the movie as this dark, unknown guy of Batman, kind of. There's just something about him when it got announced. I got excited.
Right. Also in Batman Superman, we saw in the trailers that, and you should already know right now, Wonder Woman is being introduced as well.
Yep, Gail Gabbett.
Your thoughts on this one?
Gail Gabbett, to me, I mean, we know her from the Fast and Furious movies. Yep. I've seen pictures of her in her getup and everything. And the way they made her look so far, she has the look almost of a good Wonder Woman, dressed up as it. When you see her outside of the getup, it's like, I'm not sure. But she kind of presents herself in the right way so far. So I don't know much about her besides the Furious movies.
Right.
And she really didn't have a huge role in those movies. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think she's too skinny, honestly.
Well, that's why
She's too
you got to see
slender.
some of the pictures lately. She looks like she built up for the role.
Yeah, I just think it should have gone something a little more huskier, I guess.
I will say my problem with it is everything I've seen in Dawn of Justice trailers, pictures on set, it's going to be a dark movie. That's the thing.
Yeah, it should be a dark movie. That's what DC is.
I don't know if it fell here, one of our props, but one of the comics was the Wonder Woman comic up here.
Okay.
And everything I've seen in animations of Wonder Woman, bright colors, everything. Everything's bright. When you see her in the movie and the pictures on set, it's very dark. Lots of dark colors. So we'll see.
Well, I have a thought about this, and I'm going to explain my thought about this at the end of the show, towards the end. I got a thought about what's going on. Just came to me. Also in the trailer, we saw... do you see anybody else in that trailer?
Well,
we have Lex Luthor, brought him up.
yeah, it's Jesse
hair.
Eisenberg.
With hair. Do you think he's going to shave later on in the movie?
I believe he is, because I believe they did.
Keeping it.
I think he shaves it in the movie, because I thought I saw a picture of him bald on set.
Okay.
My other one, I don't know if you remember, Aquaman. I don't think they show him in the trailer, but he is in the cast. He's played by Jason Momoa,
Right.
who played Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Which I'm psyched about that, because he's got
psyched about Dr. Doodle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's got the look. He has that long curly hair, kind of like he just looks like an Aquaman.
Man from the Sea?
Yeah, basically. And then obviously we got Harvey Keitel, your favorite.
Yeah, you can't forget about the soups, you know? Actually, yeah, you really can. Like this. The most important character was Alfred. Jeremy Irons, man. That guy is amazing. What do you think about this Alfred? Because we've seen many of them.
We've seen many of them.
Michael Caine was the old Alfred.
I actually liked Michael Caine. I thought he did a good job.
Of course.
I really don't have an opinion.
Have you seen other Jeremy Irons works?
I'm trying to remember which Batman was he in?
He never played in Batman.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we
Nope.
So
He's played Alfred here. He played a villain in the Die Hard movie.
I've never really watched the Die Hard movies.
Yeah, he was with a Vengeance. He was the villain in that movie.
Is that the second one?
Third.
Third? Okay.
With Samuel Jackson.
Okay, yeah, no. But if he does as well of a job as the other ones, my opinion won't change. I feel like even though the Alfreds have changed, all that, I've enjoyed whoever plays him. They play that good Alfred Pennyworth.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have Alfred when you have Batman.
Exactly.
That's his stepping stone right there. All right, so any other touch-ups you want to do on Batman and Superman? You know, points you want to put in with the show that you've seen? Your prediction on this thing at all? How do you see it's going to tie in between Man of Steel, and how you think it's going to tie into the future Phase 1 movies?
Well, let's just say when they came out with the second trailer, I got a little bit more excited.
Okay.
Because they show a more broader fight scene, for instance.
Of course.
So that was pretty amazing.
You know it's a bat suit, right? It's all metal.
Yep. I will say the one thing I think they showed, which kind of made me excited, was I hate when they remake a movie or reboot a movie, and they change everything up. I believe they showed the Batmobile, and it's the same one from the Dark Knight trilogies. I want to say.
Is it really?
I want to say it's like the same look.
Okay.
I think I saw it, and it's the same, or maybe I was thinking of the video game, but I want to say it is. So that's pretty neat. Take something from the ones you have on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, what was your other question you had?
So it's pretty much Batman vs Superman.
Yep.
How do you think it ties in between Man of Steel?
Oh, okay.
And how do you think it's going to carry the universe forward?
I don't think it's going to tie in as much as we want to think with Man of Steel. I think it's probably going to start off like a year or two later.
Okay.
My hope is, now you've heard me say all the time that Dawn of Justice, to me, is Justice League Part 1.
Correct.
Even though we're going to get a Justice League Part 1 in the next like 4 years or something like that down the road. Because I'm sorry, but it says Dawn of Justice. If you can't figure out that that is a word play on Justice League, then you're not paying attention.
Is it though?
I really think it is. Because also, I mean, you're not, okay, you think Batman versus Superman. It was originally just called Batman versus Superman.
Yes.
Then they added Wonder Woman. Then they added Aquaman. I've heard that they, at one point, were going to add Green Lantern or the Martian Manhunter. Then
Cyborg was in that mix too, wasn't he?
I don't know about that. But then when you started adding these characters, the Dawn of Justice popped in.
Yeah.
It, to me, is, I guess, the prequel to Justice League.
Fair enough.
So, to me, I really feel like it is Justice League.
You're gonna tie it in because of the characters they're adding in.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Now here's what I did my research, and I found out that it ties into Man of Steel because at the end of Man of Steel, when Superman took out Zod, the eyes went around and killed the building.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce was in Metropolis.
Really?
He was
Did not
outside.
notice that.
He was outside.
One of those little hidden
And he
Easter eggs.
looked up. He saw the building collapse. He ran over and saved a little girl. Took off. It was
Really?
in one of the trailers, yeah. So that ties in Bruce Wayne being in Metropolis at the time of that attack.
You gotta love those hidden Easter eggs, because
Yeah.
the other one that just popped in my head was in the season finale of season 1 of Flash, when the black hole hits, and they do that one scene of the girl who plays Hot Girl.
Right, right.
And then you kind of, all of a sudden, when they announce the names of the new characters coming out, you're like, hey, that's right, she was at the season finale. It's just those
Exactly.
hidden Easter eggs, which are always a nice little play into movies and TV.
Absolutely, yeah. I think, man, Batman vs Superman, you're gonna find a lot of Easter eggs in this movie. You're gonna have to watch it at least 4 times to really see how it pushes to the next movies.
We might even have that one with Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor kind of playing into Suicide Squad.
He's definitely gonna be the villain in Batman vs Superman.
Mhm.
Somehow controlling Superman, Kryptonite. I've already said it once. I'll say it again. That's probably what's gonna be. Something silly like that.
That'll be the nice touch, is
Yeah.
if they debut Kryptonite, because I don't believe they even debuted it in Man of Steel. I don't think they had Kryptonite in Man of Steel.
They might have, but I didn't really remember it too much.
They really didn't play that much on it. So
I mean, with the villain, we always keep talking about Lex in this movie. I mean, you gotta understand, there's other villains that could pop up. I mean, Brainiac could be in this movie. Darkseid could be in this movie. Or you can go to the Batman side, and you have other villains that could be in this movie. You know?
But we all know the big one, I think, is Lex, because that is
He's in it.
that is Superman's number 1, I believe.
I mean, we could. Here's a good segue into the next movie. We could see Joker in Batman vs Superman, because what's the next movie on the list in the universe?
That's Suicide
Up
Squad.
next is the Suicide Squad, starring Will Smith playing as Deadshot,
And Jared Leto.
as the Joker. That's
Yep,
right.
as
Yep.
Joker.
Knowing you have spoilers, and you have looked deep into these movies. Did you find anything about these movies that you could tell me and our viewers about?
Well, there's the plot things. I have not seen anything on plots.
Okay.
I do, on occasion, I like to just read the plot.
Of course
And
you
I
do.
still will go and watch the movie. it still gets me pumped up.
But I tell you to leave those thoughts to yourself.
Exactly.
Today, I'm not.
Exactly. I didn't tell you about, spoiler again if you haven't seen it, Terminator with Matt Smith playing Skynet, with on your side of the family knowing a lot about Doctor Who.
That's right.
So that was a nice little, oh my God.
That was kind of a cool side.
So, but getting back to the topic, I haven't heard anything about plots. I really just know about who's playing what. So there's also those rumors like Jesse Eisenberg showing up in Suicide Squad,
Okay.
which would be perfect because how I would see it is at the end of Dawn of Justice, they capture him, he goes off to jail. Where's he going? To Argus and inside the Suicide Squad. The cast, I'm kind of excited, kind of not. Jared Leto, I've seen what he looks like as Joker. Not really familiar with anything he's really done.
Kind of looks like the animated Joker.
He does. He's got
I love it.
that very slimmed down look. The face is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Will Smith as Deadshot. I have my pros and cons. They needed a big name actor for this movie, and they got it with Will Smith.
Yep.
And I'm excited for Will Smith because he's doing a lot of these drama movies lately. And I feel like with this, he might be getting back to his action type movies, which I love the most. And Deadshot to me, really, he's kind of...
When is your first time you introduced to Deadshot?
To
Was
Deadshot...
it Arrow?
No, I think I saw... No. Maybe it was Arrow, because I've seen him in some animations, like Assault on Arkham that we watched.
Yeah. But that came out way after Arrow, so.
Yeah, I think after like season 1.
Yeah.
But to me, Deadshot is more of like, we've had this subject about Deadpool before, where Deadpool to me is more of a neutral character. He's that assassin, but he's more, sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad.
Fair
and
enough.
I feel Deadshot's the same way. So Will Smith being able to maybe pull that off might be good. My favorite, though, is, what's her name playing, what's the
Wonder Woman?
No, what's Joker's girlfriend's name?
Harley Quinn.
Harley. I forget her name. Who's playing it? She was in The Wolf of Wall Street with Leo DiCaprio. But she, when I've seen a couple of her movies, she's kind of got that look.
I don't think I've ever seen her.
She's very new, but I've seen her on set so far, and I gotta give it up to the makeup team. They pulled off a great Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
She's got the look of Harley Quinn.
I've seen too many pictures.
Looking her up.
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street. It was like one of her first big movies.
Was it
It's like Robbie something.
Margaret Robbie?
Margaret Robbie, there
Okay.
you go.
All right.
She did a great job in that, and I've seen the pictures, and I'm kind of excited to see her go a little nuts.
Yeah, see what's going on, huh? Be interesting.
And on a plus side, she's kind of got a movie that she did this year with Will Smith called Focus. So they kind of got that. We were just in the film together, so
Okay, yeah,
can
that
work
would work
off
out.
can
Yep.
work off each other.
So quickly, let me tell you what I think I'm going to see in this movie. I think we're going to see more of a group movie where it's just, here's your mission, go into, let's just say, Arkham Asylum to bust someone out. And I think that's how they're going to use the Suicide Squad to feed on the next phase movies. Maybe they're busting out a villain or another person to help carry the storyline on for the next upcoming movies. That's probably the only way I could see it tying into the phases at all, honestly. So, I mean, Will Smith made a commitment. So unless he dies in this movie, he's committed to making more movies, which is fantastic, you know? And I hope we see more Harley Quinn and teaming up with Joker, solo style too.
Yeah.
Which would be nice.
Well, that's where, being the fact we're just talking phase 1, if DC's going to follow Marvel with all these phases, we should then be seeing another Batman movie with Ben Affleck.
I believe he has announced that.
And there you go. Batman's his biggest villain, the Joker, you might see then Jared Leto and Margaret Robbie going after Ben Affleck.
It's possible. It's possible. But that's probably like, what, phase 2, maybe 3?
Probably.
If they even go that far. Who knows how far they're going to go.
Yeah, it all depends. I think this is the year that's going to set DC. If
Hopefully.
Dawn of Justice and Suicide Squad hit big, that's going to give them their push. They're banking on next year, 2016.
Yeah. All right, Andy. Well, we're about halfway through our show.
Yep.
If not a little more. Means our favorite time of the show. It's our top 5. Today is a very thinker of a top 5. I found it very hard. It seems like every week we get harder and harder in top 5 because we're getting more specific with these things. Today is top 5 actors who should be a superhero in a movie. And not just grounding to DC. It's in DC, Dark Horse, and Marvel, and any other comic book company that we like. So if you have any questions on this, go ahead and
All I'll
throw 'em out.
say is, my first thought was we were just doing DC, so all mine are just DC.
Fair enough.
When you think this was hard, I kind of thought it was easy. But what was hard was I had my characters and I had multiple actors playing them. That was the hard part for me, is trying to figure out who I thought would play the best.
Okay.
But here we go. At number 5, the character is Green Lantern's ultimate villain, Celestro.
Okay.
I picked Colin Farrell to play Celestro.
Fair enough.
Now, let me give you why I thought he would have played. I also did a lot of, I had a picture of Farrell here and a picture of Celestro. And that's how I like to also judge, do you have that look?
Fair enough.
And he had the look, this with the cut hair he had, and this just ticked off look on his face. And I thought, Celestro's a ticked off guy. So he's my number 5. My number 4 is one of your all-time favorite DC characters,
Okay.
and that is Dick Grayson.
All right.
But I have this guy playing not Nightwing, but Robin. And it's one of, I think, your favorite young actors, because you're a big Percy Jackson fan, and that's Logan Lerman.
So, I mean, are we talking about Robin, Red Robin, or are we talking about Jason Todd, or
I'm talking about
Dick Grayson, or
Dick Grayson Robin.
Tim Drake?
Dick Grayson Robin.
Okay.
And then I thought because he's getting older, it would then turn in, and I think would have that look for a Nightwing also.
Fair enough.
So my number 3, though, he is already playing this character, but I'd like to see him on the big screen. Because when we say
Oh, so you cheated. I see.
yes, a little bit. There's 2.
All right.
There's 2.
It was hard. You couldn't do it.
There's
All right.
there's 2 on this.
going.
My 3 and my 1.
All right, you cheater.
And that is Grant Gustin as the Flash. I want to see.
Well, let's just make it hands down. Steve Amell, Grant Gustin, they both should take their characters and just pop them on the big screen anyway.
Exactly. Because right now, out of everything DC's doing, on the CW, with Arrow and Flash, those are their number 1 and 2 shows.
That's where they got it going on.
They're better than the movies that are going to come out, anything. So you should do, if you're this, Warner Brothers, I think, is doing the movies, you do everything in your power to get Grant Gustin and Stephen Amell to play their DC characters. They know how to do it. That's what the fans like.
They look like them.
Exactly. Grant Gustin makes my number 3 because he is an amazing Flash. At number
All right.
2, I have Shazam being played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He is going to be in the Shazam movie, but he's playing who? Black Adam.
Look at you.
Now, when I heard he was going to be in Shazam, I got wicked excited because I'm like, yes, he's going to play Shazam, and I just want him to see him stand there and just yell out, Shazam! And just turn into him. And then
All right.
I get upset because he's Black Adam. No, he is Shazam and should be. And of course, my number 1, we just went over it, is Stephen Amell as Arrow.
All right.
There is no ifs, ands,
And
or
their
buts.
Yep.
He is and will always be Green Arrow.
All right. Well, as a good list, you fail the fantasy booking. Let me tell you how it's done.
Yes, but let's just say you do agree with 3 and 1.
It's hardly the point.
There's no other
failed the
character.
fantasy
There's
booking.
no other person that should be playing those characters.
Let me show you how the fantasy booking is done in no specific order at all. I have Emma Stone as Zatanna.
Zatanna.
Yes. That'd be a great one to do. She'd be amazing. She's got the look for it. You know who Zatanna is?
No, I don't.
She's part of the Justice League.
Okay.
Back when they, created the entire team up in the Watchtower,
Okay.
Everybody, She's a magician, almost. She has, like, magical powers,
Yep.
So her and, John Constantine would team up, kind of thing. That's what she'd play in. Then I have Michael Jai White as Jon Stewart's Green Lantern. I was always a big fan of this guy's acting work anyways.
Yep.
If you guys don't recognize him, he played Spawn in the old 1998 Spawn movie.
Okay, yes.
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 He has great martial arts skills, man. I love this guy's acting. He's really intense. Jon Stewart is really intense. He would match this piece. Then I have Jake Gyllenhaal as Gambit.
I saw that one. I'm like, really?
I think he's got the look. I think he would do a great job. He really knows how to lay a line down, like the way Gambit would too. So I think he would be a great fit in his
Not
part.
not excited for Tatum to play.
No, I'm not. This next one I put in here just for you, because I'm a huge fan of this actor. He's probably my favorite actor ever, and I put Tom Cruise in this movie
Oh, jeez.
as Hawkman.
Are you serious?
I am. I looked at Hawkman. I'm like, yes, I think Tom Cruise would rock this role.
Now, let me just say, granted, it's a different movie, different franchise, but I showed you Tom Cruise is playing Brendan Fraser's character in the new Mummy movie, the reboot.
That's actually false.
It is,
He
okay.
is not playing it.
Okay, because I told my father that, and he's like, yep, I'm not seeing it now.
Yeah. Tom Cruise is way too busy with filming.
With what? He did one movie
New-
this year.
He has a new Mission Impossible coming out,
Oh, jeez.
and then he has some other stuff coming out too. He actually filmed like 3 movies in 2015.
Yeah, but
Just
what?
because they don't come out in 2015, doesn't mean he isn't working on them.
True.
Then I have my number one, and I had to get someone for Nightwing. I had to.
You had to. He's your all-time
Because
favorite.
Nightwing is my favorite superhero. And everyone I've looked at, I thought Liam Hemsworth would be a great fit
Just seems too
as
tall.
Nightwing. Nightwing's a tall dude. Dick Grayson's tall.
True.
Take his hair from blonde he is now to pitch black. I think he would rock this part out.
Now that was my thought when I kind of saw your ideas of who you wanted, and I'm trying to think. Do you think he's too old? Like, I understand Nightwing is the older version of Dick Grayson's Robin, but every time I think of Nightwing, I still think of him as like,
Teenager, right?
yeah, like a 18-year-old kind of thing.
But here's the beautiful part about the Hemsworth, and all of them, all 3 brothers, by the way, there are just 2 of them, they are baby-faced pretty boys. They will always look young,
This is true.
no matter what.
Chris though has the Thor look.
Look at this. Chris is my age, and he looks young. So these guys could do it.
I will say you
I mean,
definitely.
look at you, guy on your list, Logan Lerman. You know how old that guy is?
This is true. He's like 20.
He's in his late 20s.
I didn't think he was
Yeah,
that old.
he's old.
He does. He has that baby look.
Yeah.
But he's also short too. So.
Yeah. So he can do it. So I think it'd be fine.
Well, that's why I picked him as my young Robin Dick Grayson, because I'm thinking, okay, you play young Robin, but I feel like he could get that look to go.
I honestly think
2.
you should do Tim Drake for him. Red Robin? Be a
Yep.
better fit for him. Easy.
I wasn't sure who to go with. I was just going to put Robin, but I knew you'd ask me which one,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking, I just feel like he's played kind of a, not even really a superhero, but with Percy Jackson,
He's a superhero.
yeah, he kind of
Totally.
knows what he's supposed
Yeah.
to pull out. So
I mean, you definitely don't want Jason Todd, because Jason Todd dies, and he's the tortured Robin. He's
he-
always getting tortured.
he's the nutso Robin.
So that would be a bad choice for him. You want someone a little more crazier to play Jason Todd.
Yep.
But I think Tim Drake would be a great fit for him.
See, I'm looking at your list. You really did have a fantasy look.
It's a fantasy booking.
I'm like, dang, these are like,
Now, this top
Big name
5,
guys.
we're going to do a little different this week. We are not mashing them together.
that's fine.
We're not. Instead, when you guys watch this episode, you mash them together or give us your list on our Facebook page. Andy, what's our Facebook page?
It's at Legends of the Nerds.
And also, you can follow us on Twitter at KrillinMan. Do the list there as well. Let's jump right back into the DC universe, huh?
Let's do it.
Next up, we have a little lady. She gets a movie. Finally, we get to see her in a solo role. We're talking about little Wonder Woman here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your thoughts?
My thoughts, I mean, like, I got to him earlier with the whole it being dark.
Mhm.
And to me, DC, everything DC is kind of darkish. Comics, the characters,
Right.
everything. It's hard to say where they're going to go. Are you going to give her island with all the Amazons? Who knows there?
Paradise Island?
Yeah, there you
Okay.
go. I couldn't remember. One of the things I've noticed in Dawn of Justice, which maybe they'll show it, maybe not, and we'll wait till Wonder Woman, is I have not seen anything about her lasso. That is Wonder Woman's.
The lasso of truth?
That is Wonder Woman's, like, her trademark.
Right, yeah, the lasso of truth, man.
I mean, I've seen the. I think I've seen her in pictures wearing the arm bars that she deflects things off
Yep.
of. But I haven't seen anything with the lasso yet, so I want to see something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Wonder Woman movie, I have not heard who her villain's going to be.
So what are your thoughts, though?
I want to see Ares. Ares is the god of war. Being with Wonder Woman, they use a lot of the Greek mythology.
Absolutely.
And if you're going to do Greek mythology, do Ares, the god of war, in it.
Andy, I have to 100% agree with you because I wrote down Ares as one of the villains. I think they should do Ares. I don't see anyone else they could go unless they did this because Chris Pine is going to be in this movie.
Okay.
Okay? Chris Pine is going to play one with love interest, Stephen Trevor.
Okay.
He is a pilot who crashes onto Paradise Island.
Mhm.
So they could possibly bring it over to Gotham or Metropolis by Wonder Woman saying, I don't want to be on Paradise Island anymore. There's a big world. I'm going to take Steve Trevor back home. And then maybe she runs into a villain over there. Hell, they could run into Ares over there. Maybe. Possibly. But I honestly think the villain is going to be Artemis, honestly.
Yep.
Artemis is the female, just like Wonder Woman, female warrior, Amazon warrior,
Yep.
but she goes rogue. So I'm thinking maybe Artemis follows her over there, and they have a battle out in one of the cities. That's what I'm thinking.
I can also see it because as we're talking about this, sometimes things will fly into my head.
Of course, that's why we talk about this.
I could also see it being where they don't really want to talk about Paradise Island in Dawn of Justice, obviously, because it's based, I think solely around
I think you're
Batman
going
and
to
Superman.
a name drop. I think.
It could be the reason she's in like Metropolis or something is, let's just say, because she becomes Queen of the Amazons. Maybe in Dawn of Justice she's still Princess of the Amazons, and she went somewheres, and now going into Wonder Woman, she's coming back because she has to take over.
Talking about this, it makes no sense. You made a huge point because Wonder Woman is going to be in Batman and Superman. The only thing is that we don't know how big a part she's going to have, where she's going to be. It could be a small cameo at the end of the movie where she shows up with Steve Trevor, maybe. I don't know.
And that's where my problem has been with Dawn of Justice that I've told you in the past, is I feel like this movie should only have been just called Batman vs. Superman, and it should have just been those two characters.
Yeah.
And then you have your solo movies, like Marvel did. Each movie didn't have everybody in it. It was based off each one, and then what happened? They came together in a great way in the Avengers, and that's how it should have been played out. You had Batman's movie, you have Superman's movie, then okay, you want your little coalition between the two of them. You have Amazon, Wonder Woman, and all that. Then you have the first Justice League movie.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to introduce Wonder Woman in Batman vs. Superman with it making any bit of sense. Because honestly, you got to look at it a couple of ways. You're going to have your average comic book reader. You're going to have your hardcore comic book readers. And then you're going to have the casual people, who just go to movies because like, oh, that trailer looked awesome. I want to see that. So you have those people who are going to go see them a lot more because they think it's cool, who knows nothing about the comic world. And they're going to be like, who is Wonder Woman and why is she here? This makes no sense. So you got to introduce.
We might have a situation where we say it multiple times in each one of these episodes. Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds years ago.
I've been saying this for years.
Was amazing. Why? They followed the comic almost down to a T.
They followed a formula, is what they did. And that right there should have been the very first step of Justice League.
Now, in Dawn of Justice, we might get where they don't follow anything to a T to the comics.
Yeah.
Why? Because they might be going and thinking, we tried to do that, with Green Lantern, and look what happened. People were ripping on it so badly.
I don't know why. And if you ever ask
So
people why
that's-
they didn't like it, they can't give you a reason. So please, I'm asking you fans, if you have a reason why you do not like Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds, please message us on Facebook, tweet us at us. I want to know why your reason. I don't know why. This movie was phenomenal.
Why? Because Ryan Reynolds is a cocky guy. And what is Hal Jordan? He is very cocky.
Yeah, it's the animated version of Ryan Reynolds is what it is.
Ryan Reynolds was one of those guys on my list where I'd love to see him just say, screw Deadpool, let someone else be it, and just go full force into Green Lantern.
Keep fighting for Green Lantern. Yeah.
Hal Jordan was my favorite Green Lantern over Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Just because I like that brass, I'm better than you kind of guy.
Yeah.
So,
But back to Wonder Woman though. I'm not sure if they're planning on doing a prequel with this one, and then going with that, or if it's gonna be like half prequel, and then we meet up with Batman and Superman the movie, and then go back to a regular Wonder Woman movie. So many different things to do. I have no idea what they're gonna do with this movie.
Yep.
I don't.
we'll have those answers in about half a year.
Or more. Who knows? Because last on the road of Phase 1 DC is the Justice League Part 1. Hits the big screen 2017. Andy, villains, plot line, any speculation at all?
Really, I could just tell you I'm glad you found a date because I really haven't looked up anything
Okay.
for this yet because I'll have more of a broader aspect, I think, of what I'm expecting and what might happen, I think, after this year.
Okay.
Because
Are you going to wait till after you see Batman vs. Superman?
I think I'm going to have a better respect for DC after Batman vs. Superman. Because, like I said, this is their push. This is their chance to try to, now that Marvel's starting to slow down, this is their chance to
Yeah.
say, this is our time. You guys had yours. This is ours.
Our time to rise.
Exactly. Like I said, if they screw it up, I might be really upset with DC. I wasn't.
What's your percentage? Do you think they're going to screw it up?
After Superman, I kind of think they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't explain into words, and I don't think you can either. I wish we.
Here's
I
my
wish we.
biggest
I wish
issue.
we taped how excited I was for Man of Steel,
Yeah.
because I was giddy like a little schoolgirl.
Of course. Here's my biggest issue. I'm sure Zack Snyder is a fantastic director. He states that he is a nerd. He loves comic books. Every interview I see with this guy, he has no excitement about it at all. He's just excited about making the money after he's done the movie.
Because didn't he do X-Men also?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of.
No,
screw-ups.
he didn't do X-Men, no.
I thought it
I think
was.
he did X-Men.
I thought he did in the beginning.
He might have produced it.
Because we can go on to that
I mean,
too in another episode how much they screwed up in those movies.
He's directed the movies, and I don't see the excitement in these movies. I think he's just trying to create something that no one's gonna really like.
So you would say it would have been amazing if, for instance, Josh Whedon did Phase 1
No.
of DC?
No,
No?
I think Kevin Smith should have done Phase 1. Honestly,
Really?
I think Kevin Smith would have been a better choice. I mean, he is the DC guy, you know. He is.
It's true.
I mean, he renamed his daughter Harley.
That is true. I thought
know,
that was the
so-
funniest thing I've ever seen.
I think.
And do you know what her middle name is? It's Quinn.
Yeah, probably.
It is. Her middle name, her full name is Harley Quinn Smith.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would have been a better choice. Honestly, I do. And there's probably a few others I could probably think of that would be a better choice than Zack Snyder. I just don't see his excitement in these films at all.
And that's what you really need. You need behind the screen. You need also actors who want to play the role, not because of money, but because they're huge fans of it.
That's what you need.
And
That's-
you
fans.
need people behind the screens to be really excited about it. That's
Yeah.
why I always say, with wrestling, for instance, when you have people who want to get in the ring, you get some that are just promoting themselves, but then you get the ones that were true fans growing up. That's
For
what,
example of a an amazing wrestler who loved the business, who wanted to be in the business, and why he has so many fans, Eddie Guerrero. He's a guy that loved the business. He sold himself, he sold the business. And that's what I need to see Zack Snyder do. I need to see him love the business. I need to see him love comic books. And I'm just not seeing it.
Exactly.
I watched a Q&A panel at the San Diego Comic-Con with the cast of Man of Steel, and I saw his interview, and he's like smiling and stuff, but he has no enthusiasm for it.
That's why what you showed me, it was at the Comic-Con, was with Stephen Amell.
Yeah.
Answering all those questions and interacting with the fans.
He's so excited.
Exactly.
So excited.
I feel like, too, if you've come from humble beginnings, like he was, because we've watched, like, the wrestling interview thing that I showed you, where he's talking about him going to wrestling and working as Arrow. He talks about, he kind of was just found kind of thing. He wasn't doing much. He was, I think, a limo driver, a cab driver before. And I feel like you come from a humble beginning, you respect it more, and you have more of a love for it.
Yeah.
So even he said in it, he's in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too. He even said that is a dream of mine.
Of course.
He said in the interview, him and his friends, when the '90s movies came out, they went there. What'd they do after? They went and chowed down on cheese pizza.
Of course.
So
Well,
I mean,
let's just use that as a segue to get back onto Justice League. We're on. Let's talk about who we're gonna see as heroes in this movie. Obviously, we're gonna have Superman in it.
yep.
We're gonna have Batman in it. We already know Wonder Woman's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And we know Aquaman.
We have to assume that Aquaman's gonna be in it, right? Have to assume that. Anyone else you'd think you would see in this?
Like I said, I've heard.
What about a Flash? Do you think you're gonna see a Flash in
Oh,
this?
you have to. I mean, I already said earlier the rumor was Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter, but I truly believe if you want a Justice League movie, you need those big name ones. And for me, I want to say Green Arrow, but I really don't feel like he's one of the big ones.
Right.
My big ones are Batman, Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman. Those are my big five.
So you gonna think we're gonna see all those in here?
I would hope so.
Oh, see what they're gonna do. I mean, it's a lot of things to introduce into the universe in a 2 to 3 hour movie.
I think if you're smart, you put the Flash and Arrow and Green Arrow in it. Being the fact those TV shows, you don't have to have that cast, but being the fact that's what's on everyone's mind right now.
If you are not a casual comic book reader or viewer, if you're just going into this as, hey, that's a great trailer, you may not know who these people are.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, Andy, we'll touch up more on this close to 2017. I'm going to have a big breakdown of Justice League in a future episode.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, you have a new segment for you.
Well, if everyone out there knows me, sometimes at the end of sporting events, I always like to congratulate the team that happened. So you should know by now, everybody, that I'm a huge, huge sports fan. On the wrong side of the table or whatever, I can't think of a phrase or nice word pun for it. I am very upset. There was a tear to my eye today that happened. My second all-time favorite basketball player, Kobe Bryant of the not right now great, Los Angeles Lakers, has announced he is retiring. I think it's after 17, 18 seasons, so that's a lot for one guy on one team. So he will retire at the end of the year, unfortunately. And you brought up...
What's the end of the year for basketball?
Basketball ends, if you make it to the playoffs, ends, I think it's around June, July.
Okay.
So the season, being the fact they are really sucking pond water right now, will probably be at the end of May for them.
So his last game is probably around May, you think?
Exactly.
All right.
You brought up, which I'll bring up now because you mentioned it, those... I can't say what I want to say, New England Patriots finally got their loss last night. I hate the Patriots. Like I said, I can't say my true love for them on camera. But yeah, they took a loss, so good for them. I'm happy they finally took a loss.
Who do you see in the Super Bowl this year?
Super Bowl, unfortunately, I see the Patriots, unfortunately. Yeah. And everyone says the Panthers are 11-0 for the first time ever.
I've heard Panthers are doing good.
I mean, that's amazing. I want to say my Packers. Crying out loud, I'd like to say even my dad's team, those horrible Cowboys right now, but... So, yeah, little sports things.
Any other sport world stuff we want to cover?
Oh, God, baseball's over with.
Yep.
I don't watch hockey, unfortunately.
PBA, anything on the PBA?
Oh, geez, you really want to go there?
Professional Bowling Association?
Oh, I will say this. Don't forget our nerdies are coming up, our award show.
Yep.
There's a sports category on there too.
Okay.
What do you think was the best sport of the year, or what's your favorite sport?
Andy, we have a few minutes right now. Why don't you explain the Nerdy Awards right now?
Well, of course, we have like we said, the nerdies. It's our word play off of the Grammys,
Yep.
obviously. We just want to out there go ahead and honor everything that has happened. I mean, a lot of the stuff we talk about is wrestling, obviously,
course.
or a lot of movies and TV. So obviously, we want to go and award and recognize great actors, actresses, movies. So we went out, came up with 12 different categories we have it as.
So they can vote on Facebook?
Yeah, they can vote on Facebook, or I don't have it on our Twitter yet. Maybe we'll put it up there. But we got the categories on Facebook. Go ahead. Just type in the comments. You don't have to even vote on every
Comment,
single
message, anything?
anything. You don't even have to do every single
Well, tell me one
category.
thing. I know I'm already nominated for Best Host, right?
I don't know. I think
I'm
I
already
am.
in there?
I
So,
think I am.
Okay. Good to go.
But yeah, so go on there, vote who you think should be, and at the end of the year, we will have our Nerdies Awards show, and you'll find out who the winner is.
Sounds like fun.
Yep.
When do you close this
But
show
we'll close it
down?
out. Again, remember, you can always watch us on YouTube at Legends of Nerds. We have every single episode on there. You can also watch us on our Facebook page at Legends of Nerds and tell us how we're doing. We know I'm great, but give him some hopes.
little bit.
Tell him how great he is.
Just a little bit.
Don't forget, we're at Twitter. Where are we at Twitter?
Look us up at Krillin Man.
There you go. That's hitting off as from what I've been hearing. So
Yes, we're doing well on Twitter.
exactly. So we hope you liked today's episode. We have a great episode planned for you next time. But remember, out there, stay nerdy.